guys, welcome back to my channel. Lovely, I know, free vlogs in one day. Ew. What I'm going to talk about here on this channel right now, roughly, is so you want to transition. The first thing you want to do, especially when you want to transition, is decide whether you're going to wear a wig or you're going to grow your hair. That's the main step. 1 second. Yeah, so you need to decide whether you want to wear a wig or grow your hair. For me, I did both in different times of transition, roughly, because if you didn't know, this is my official transition. But many years ago I did a transition where I transitioned for a year. Oh, that's what cheap earrings do to my ears, it's so gross. But I did wear wigs for a long time, roughly for quite a few years, until I started to grow my actual hair. This is, I believe, about a year and maybe a half, nearly 2 years worth of growth. But I do recommend, if you are growing your hair out, that you start just with the top. And the reason I recommend this is because if you try to grow the sides and the back roughly before you grow the top, it's going to look like a mullet. And I know this from personal experience because everyone's hair grows at the same rate, but some people's hair grow different. My top half of my head tends to grow at the same rate, but it looks like it's growing more slower than the rest of my hair. When I did my official transition, roughly, I grew just the top of my hair. I shaved the sides and the back, roughly twice I believe it was, and that left my hair a good amount of length so that everything would look cohesive. And my hair, the back, just like many people's, grows more quicker than the sides. And what happened last year with me was I ended up with the back of my hair, I think it was down here when it was straight, and the top was just about there. So what I did, I had roughly the hairdresser make it one length, so the back was quite blunt and that lot. And I do recommend that once your hair is long enough, you've got the sides to a decent length and you've got the back to a decent length, get the back cut up so roughly it looks like a bob, and then everything will just grow in uniform. Now for me, I only have to concentrate on the layers that are in my hair and just the top of my hair, roughly, because the main area of worry for me is this fringe area, because you cannot see because of how curly my hair is now, but it's a bit of a problem because it sticks out because my hair is curly, wavy, whatever people want to call it. But thing is, that's the main part, because all the layering, as you guys can see, they are, if I stretched them out they'd be quite long. But thing is, because my hair is now more wavy slash curly, it is shrinking my hair. But thing is, you have to decide whether you want to straighten it, keep it curly and stuff like that. My hair now is of decent length that I now roughly have made the decision. Why does that look so flat? I made the decision to basically completely stop heat styling my hair. Roughly my hair is literally thriving now, roughly, which I'm in love. But I made the decision to go completely curly, but I still dye my hair. And you have to decide whether roughly you want to blend in with people when it comes to your hair. And what I mean by that is, do you want to look like the everyday person, or do you want to stand out with colour? Some people roughly, they dye their hair roughly like all kinds of bright colours and stuff like that. And if you are a transgender woman, most of the time you will be wanting to go blonde. You might go red, you might stay natural, you might want pink hair, blue hair, whatever. The decision is mainly down to you, but like I said, when I first started my official transition, what colour did I have? I think it was bleach blonde hair, and then I went back to brunette. I always kept going from brunette to blonde, blonde to brunette. With it, I kept doing that shift. And last year I also did red. What other colours did I do? I know there was red. But the thing is, I have been many colours, including different types of blonde. This is the first time that I have officially stopped bleaching my hair, because if you are growing your hair, you have to know that bleach damages your hair. You can still have healthier hair with just lifting your hair by colour. If you're new to my channel, my base shade, which is my root shade, my root that grow in are a level 6, which is a light brown / dark blonde, and I am medium copper blonde. I just dyed this the other day, which means my hair was lightened 2 shades. So root shade level 6, base shade level 8. And for me, I think the most struggle for me was the fact that I always wanted to be blonde. And I was blonde as a kid, roughly, with like really, I won't say you could tell roughly that my hair was proper curly, because my hair never grew past that much. But like now, you can definitely tell my hair is quite curly. And people now are starting to notice. I mean, some people are not keen on the colour because I added copper in it, but like I said, I want to go more copper. But like I said, you've only got one life. Roughly, you might as well live it and do how you want to live your life. But one thing you need to realise, if you are going to wear wigs, is gradual transition works so much better. Do not do what I did. I slapped on makeup, a wig, women's clothing, women's shoes, and that was it. And I basically did that kind of thing where it's like, F you to the rest of the world, roughly, this is how I am, roughly, this is how I want to live my life. That's not the attitude you want in life, roughly, especially when you want other people to transition with you. You want to, I can tell I've still got colour built in my hair. You want people to transition along with you, and you want to enjoy the road to becoming who you are, and you want people to enjoy that road too. But sometimes there has to be some sort of compromise in between, and that what, say like, you could basically start off by painting one nail, and then when you accomplish something else, paint another nail. No, I'm alright. Okay. And every time you accomplish something in your transition, you'll end up with a full set of nails painted. And I do recommend that you start looking at tutorials online for makeup. Believe it or not, I know how to do makeup more better than my sisters, and they were born women. But I'm still kind of learning, especially when it comes to eyeliner. I have now come up with a technique that seems to be working a little bit more better for me, because I have hooded eyes, and my older sister has this problem as well, because when you look forward, can you see my crease line makes my eye socket disappear? My older sister has this problem, so does my younger sister. So you'll have to find different ways to accommodate your makeup tips and your techniques. Currently, we're in quarantine. I'm not really wearing makeup. I mean, I've only just started wearing a sports bra again. But if you are going to grow your hair, you need to nourish it. You need because your hair will be natural, or if it's natural, you will not need a lot of protein. You'll need to incorporate that now and then. But if your hair is coloured, straightened, your hair is classed as damaged, just like mine is, and you will need to nourish it. Now, you can use sulfates and silicones, but if your hair is like mine and it has any kind of wave or curl, then you have to do things a little bit differently. You don't have to, you can use sulfates and silicones, but if you're going to do that, I'd recommend you don't use the bad sulfates and the bad silicones. I'd use the washout silicones and the okay sulfates. But if you wanted to go down the sulfate free and silicone free line, I have a video on that, and there's tons of videos on YouTube explaining that. Roughly, you need to maintain your hair, including cutting your hair. If for me, because my hair does not have heat on it no more, roughly my hair and the ends of my hair are really healthy. This side, I always deal with it more on this side. But the thing is, I cut my hair every 2 months. And I'm doing that to get rid of the bleach damage, roughly from highlights, and when I coloured my hair, because when I coloured my hair, my roots grew out a lot before I got a couple of highlights put in my hair, and then I had to get those highlights fixed to a full head of highlights. And they did slicers and baby lights. And that's one thing you could do if you did want to go blonde, is instead of going for a full scalp bleach, because sometimes it looks alright, if you're looking something more natural, I'd go with highlights and see if they would do baby lights and slicers, because they'll look at different techniques, especially when it comes to your hair. Because they had to do that to my hair, they took ages doing my hair. The back of my hair was done first, then I think it was these side bits here, but the top section took the longest, which is very weird, especially these front pieces as well. There was just a very few. They took so many out, roughly, and they found out a few pieces just needed to be cut a little bit longer. But I now colour my hair using eSalon, and it is just a hair colourist, roughly, that helps you with your hair colour, roughly. So I'm using salon quality products in my hair, and kind of like drugstore kind of products and high-end products as well. But roughly, you have to decide your hair goal. What is your hair goal? How long do you want your hair? And for me, as a person, I now want to get my hair curly, but I want my hair to come down to here. and it's going to be a challenge, especially with my hair being curly or wavy. It's one or the other, because my hair, believe it or not, even though it looks that short, my hair is to my collarbone. My curls or waves spring up, so my hair tends to look more shorter when in fact it's actually quite long. So the decision is yours and yours to make. Those are just basics of what you need to do. Roughly is you need to mainly decide on your hair. You could even decide, you know, when your hair say like a good length, you could decide on like taping extensions, micro bead extensions, but be very careful wearing those all the time because of the maintenance. You have to be careful because they can tug and pull on your hair and you could end up with problems. So do your research before making a full commitment. And if you are deciding on a colour, make sure it's a colour you are going to love, because don't forget, you're going to live with it, lovely, and you can't live a life with regrets. Remember, we have one life. You could choose to not transition if you don't want to transition and just live your life as a woman. That's okay too. Not every trans person needs to go on hormone replacement therapy. They don't need to have surgery and that lot. You have to do what's best for you. Anyways, that's my little bit of a rant. Obviously women's clothing and stuff comes into it. If you're not comfortable in going to stores, I highly recommend you go to charity shops. eBay, Amazon, order on clothing stores like New Look, Select, what else is there? Next. There's different kind of clothing stores you can try. For shoes, try Shoe Zone, or Matalan and stuff do basically stuff like that here in UK. For makeup, a brand that I like as a starter brand, it's vegan, it's cruelty free, roughly. It's not tested on animals, roughly, and the brand I use is Makeup Revolution. They're great, you know, for people who are just starting out. Roughly, you can get eyeshadow palettes like this. Roughly, you can get the big kahunas and everything. Makeup Revolution is just great for starting out. You can get highlighter palettes and stuff. You can get their Christmas special ones. They're just a good brand to start off with before you start going to more bigger and better brands. Just experiment, have fun. If you basically make a mistake, because you will make a couple of mistakes like I most probably did, and I have roughly those mistakes on my channel roughly, and I've kept them on there because they are a learning curve. And my hardest part is doing a wing on my eyes and getting them even. Eyebrows done. Just remember, they're sisters, they're not twins. But thing is, eyeliner on the eyelid is the worst. But you'll find things you're good at and things you're bad at. Anyway, I'm going to get going and I'll see you guys in the next video.